So today, our Raymond James Canada Foundation Advisory Committee, as well as our Diversity and Inclusion team, and a host of HR professionals came together so that we could do a team building activity. Specifically, we were with Canoe Tours out here in the wonderful Kate's Park, and we were paddling together. And if you know anything about Raymond James and our teams, we were working together, moving towards a common goal. And
we had a great canoe outing in Burrard Inlet with the members of the Tsleil-Waututh Nations.
So right here today, we're doing the Takaya Tours, and Takaya means the wolf. And I'm going to sing my family's version of the wolf song. Yeah. So I just share a little bit of the First Nations culture as well as the history to do with the land here on the Burrard Inlet or Tsleil-Waututh Nation. The canoes that we're in right now is called an ocean-going canoe. So my ancestors, we designed this type of canoe to actually be used out in the open ocean. The shape of the front and the middle part, it's actually meant to make sure that the waves actually bounce off the canoe. I think it's really important to share the culture and the history. It's the way that the First Nations people have lived our lives unchanged for thousands of years. The history and our culture is what we try to keep alive by word of mouth. So we share the history of what our ancestors did, and that's the way that they lived unchanged for thousands of years.
We took an amazing ride out into Burrard Inlet, got a really good sense of the history and the stories that the Indigenous tribe that we were with grew up with, and saw some really beautiful things and learned a lot about the history.
I think we did all right for first timers. I think if we try again, we could do better. But it's a really interesting team building experience of how you have to work together to be successful.
I think it's just a great way to understand the ways that a disparate group of people can actually work together and lead to a great outcome. So as we were paddling today, you could feel when the boat was and everyone was paddling in unison, the boat was moving in very nice smooth motion. When people were not paddling in unison, the boat was sort of herky-jerky. I think you can sort of take that same philosophy back to anything you do in life, and if you've got everyone sort of rowing in the same direction at the same time, the outcome's better.
What we're doing on the canoe is really excellent for team building. You have to rely on each other, right? Like there can't just be one really good person on the team and expect to win. You have to put in the whole effort as a team, and to move the canoe at a speed that you would like to, everybody has to paddle all together, all in the exact same time, same motion, same, all of our paddles are the same length. So, the canoe itself is a really great example of using teamwork. Haichka.